Patience and perseverance. And in today's world, it could not be more important. With coronavirus going on, you have the media just every time you turn the TV on, it's this negative coronavirus. And then I think last week there was like murder hornets or some like crazy thing that was happening after that. And it's like you have to take a step back from all of that. And I think everyone's kind of losing their patience with what's going on right now, but you also have to learn that you have to be able to persevere from this entire situation. I mean, if you look at just the history, and I think that's what, I use to calm myself down when I do get stressed out over what's going on, whether I can't go meet with someone or whether someone cancels an appointment because they're afraid of, human contact in the times we're in. But I think what I do in those situations, and I think it's so important to kind of take a step back and do that, is, look at history. Look at the history of civilization with everything that's gone on from like the beginning of mankind. You've had plagues, you've had natural disasters, you've had world wars, you've had everything that's gone on, and human civilization has persevered through everything that's happened. I mean, when you look at the timeline of everything that's happened throughout human history, it makes the coronavirus and the situation we're in right now, and I know it's bad, I know people have lost loved ones, and I don't wish that upon everybody, but the situation we're in right now, when you compare it in retrospect to everything else that's gone on, is like nothing. I mean, look at the statistics, look at the facts, and I'm not saying it to kind of come off like rude, shedding light on this whole situation. I'm saying it because when you look at stuff in that sense of light, it sheds more positivity on what's going on and where we're going and where we're going to come out of after this. And I have no doubt that everyone in their own way is going to come out of this better. And the real choice that everyone shares right now is whether you're going to come out of this worse than when it started or whether you're going to come out better. And I don't really think there's any in between, because I think just the way humans are and the way that they handle stress in situations is you can handle it very well and you can handle it not so well. And I think that when you look back at history and you look at all of the great things that have come out of situations like this, I mean, you look at some of the greatest era of this country was right after the Great Depression, was right after 10 years of joblessness, of unemployment at maximum levels. And you look at that time period, that was 10 years. That was a whole decade of depression. I mean, since it really hit the United States, like January, so we're in May, it's been 5 months. Imagine 10 years. So when you look at stuff in retrospect like that and you take a step back, you realize, what am I going to do to persevere? How much am I actually reacting to what's going on? How much am I listening to the negativity that is spewed everywhere throughout the news, throughout social media? And you have a choice, and your choice is you can listen to all of that and you can hold it in and you can let it consume you, or you can shake it off and you can put yourself in a positive situation. Try to adapt, try to still work. If working is what makes you happy, and for me, real estate, going out and just being able to meet people and go, meet people for listings, do open houses. Like, those are some of my favorite things. Like, I loved, before this all happened, I was trying to do open houses like every day of the week. And now the fact that I haven't even been able to do that, and I had one scheduled actually this week on Wednesday, and I just got a call that I can't do it because even though Florida's opening back up, there's still a lot of restrictions on the things that you can do as far as real estate business goes, and they're not sure if they're going to allow in-person open houses right now. And it sucks. That was something that I was looking forward to that, but am I going to let that ruin the entire rest of my week? No, because there's no benefit from that. I'm not going to be happier next week if I let the fact that I can't do an open house ruin my entire attitude for the rest of this week. So, you got to figure out and pick your battles, and what are you going to really let get to you, and what are you going to just brush off and keep on moving. And that's what's going to determine where you're going to come out. Are you letting everything you see on social media and the news get to you? Are you letting all of that consume you, or are you trying every which way possible to put yourself in new situations, positive situations? I mean, right now we're out at a gorgeous preserve. We're shooting this video, and I chose to do it out here because one, it's a beautiful day. We're in the middle of nature. There's not a person, there's not a car, there's not a noise other than the wind blowing through the trees and across the water. I mean, this situation is more positive and is better than just sitting at home and scrolling through Facebook anxiously, reading all of the phony exaggerated articles that people put out there. So that's why I wanted to make this video, is because I wanted to kind of come to that level ground with people and, you know, kind of empathize with people. I understand things suck right now. It hasn't been fun, but you know, look at the things that you can do right now. You know, you have an excuse to be at home and spend more time with your family when maybe you would have been working nonstop. So maybe it gives you a time to hang out with your kid who's, you know, growing up and is at a point in childhood where it's important to be home with them. And maybe if this wasn't going on, you wouldn't be able to spend that much time. So if you look at every situation in life, there's always going to be a negative to everything, and there's always going to be a positive. It's your job to find that silver lining in between and be able to maximize that and blow that up. Don't blow up. Everyone's focused on blowing the negativity up and focusing on that. Switch the roles around and blow up the things that are positive. Blow up the things that make you happy. You know, go out. There's nothing stopping you from getting in your car and driving out somewhere like this, or taking your loved one or a friend and taking a drive down by the beach, or getting out and going on a trail, or going on a run, or exercising, or doing all of those things. Those are all things that distract you, not distract you, but those are all things that take your mind off of the negativity that is just everywhere, that consumes everybody. And I think that when you start to look at things like that, it really helps you. It's going to help you when you're done. When this whole situation is over, you're going to be like, wow, you know what? I didn't even realize that there was a pandemic, because every single day I was out running, I was working out, I was riding a bike, I was hanging out with friends, I was spending time with people that otherwise I wouldn't really be able to see because I'd be so consumed with my work. So if you look at every situation, there's always a negative, there's always a positive, and you have to learn how you're gonna persevere and be patient with what's going on right now. You know, be patient, don't get annoyed. Like, I'm not gonna get annoyed at the person who doesn't want me to do the open house, because I'm patient and I respect the fact that, you know, maybe they're an at-risk person, maybe they're elderly, maybe they just don't wanna take that risk of getting sick, and that's completely understandable. And every business, you're gonna have people who are gonna not wanna do business the way that you're normally able to do business. So you have to learn how to adapt to that, be patient with them, and, you know, respect where everyone else is coming from. But at the same time, don't get caught up in the negativity. Don't get caught up in the doom and gloom. And I've said that 1,000 times throughout this video, because that's something that I hammer that into my own head. I hate negativity. I hate watching the news. I hate watching the news even when this wasn't going on. So right now, I don't even, like, when I turn the news on, News 13 comes on all the time because I have Spectrum, and that's the first channel that comes on. And I literally, boom, I get rid of it, because it's not worth my time, and it shouldn't be worth your time. So get out, go exercise, go to a trail, go to a preserve, go to the beach, wherever you live at. If you don't live by a beach, take a walk in the woods, go do anything that is gonna get your mind in a positive, you know, in a positive way that's gonna propel you to become better. And when all of this is over, you're gonna look back, like I said, and you're gonna be like, wow, there was a pandemic that went on? I didn't even realize that, because I used that time to lose 20 pounds or gain more muscle or do things that bettered me as a human. And I think if you look at the history of human civilization, that's something that makes humans special versus any other creature and species on this planet, is that we have the ability to adapt and persevere and get through those hardest of hard times. And when you look at this situation and the retrospect of everything that's happened, it looks like nothing. So think about that and take the time to get out and experience something that's gonna make you happy. And before I end this video, I don't wanna forget, I wanna thank everyone out there through this entire crisis, throughout this entire time in human civilization that we faced. I wanna thank the essential workers, I wanna thank the nurses, the doctors, the policemen, the firefighters, the grocery attendants at Publix or whatever supermarket that you go to frequently. I want to thank the gas station attendants, everyone who has been forced and has showed up every single day throughout this entire time, whether they were wearing a mask or whatever the situation may be. I want to thank those people, because you guys kept everything running and you helped try the best to maintain that source of normality. Because without that, if everything closed, if grocery stores closed, if Walmart closed indefinitely and everything just shut down, I think people would have lost their mind more than they have already. So without you guys, there would have been no sense of normal. And even though normal isn't how it was yet before this all happened, I think we can still be thankful for a lot of the things that have stayed open and have run along this entire time. So I wanted to end it with that. And just remember, guys, look at when you're feeling stressed out and you think that when is this all going to end? Look at everything that's happened throughout civilization. Look at everything that human beings have gone through and realize that, one, things could be far, far, far much worse than they are. And I think that the time period that we're in definitely plays a role too, because just how advanced humans have become. I think that hopefully the worst of this is over and everyone can get back to that normal. But just remember, you have two choices. You can either come out of this worse than you were before this even started, or you can come out better. But the choice is simply up to you. You can surround yourself and consume yourself in negativity, or you can open up the door, shut off the news, and just go out into the world and be happy.